All right, we're still working on the 12-volt system here, and the things that I have found is that essentially this is not a fuse block like we're used to. It's a distribution, it's a power distribution block is what it is. So when you type in fuse block on Amazon, you got to be careful what you're getting, because this is not a replacement for other automotive fuse blocks that might be in old cars that are just pass-throughs. This is master in here and then out on separate components. And you know, that's fine if you're wiring in other stuff like the water pump and the vacuum pump. Yes, you do want them to have separate power just coming out of here, and there's not existing power. But the thing is that I'm realizing, yes, the wiring diagram shows unfused power coming into this block, and it's basically these two. So, you know, you'd have power distribution is unfused here, or maybe just one, essentially. It looks like I counted, though, maybe 4. So I'm gonna have 4 wires coming out of here into this fuse block, and then I think I'm gonna keep this just for now, because there's some, just for ease of wiring and identification. Again, if someone else wanted to look at the stock wiring, then having the original fuse block would help a lot. I just hope we don't get any poor connections with these old fuses, or, you know, resistance, or them getting hot. But there are certain things about this block, like you see how this blade here is connected between the two. I'm not sure if you can see that. See how it's connected there? So connecting either one of these back here will also power this other side. You know, and then the output is down here, which is going to be your separate lugs. But I think I'm going to keep this just for now. But I need this, and maybe put it over in the corner here where originally I thought I was going to, and then just run my distribution wires, which I counted to be, it looks like maybe 4, even though this one is shared. So I'm not sure, but I think this was horn, you know, and this was wiper motor, blower motor, brake lights. So that's kind of the situation right now. I'll just kind of go over the wiring diagram if we can. Yeah, it looks like so this this is our red wire that comes in and is spliced, and so you've got this main power feed coming in, and it splits off into 4 groups here. This bottom one is going to be the horn, and this was the wiper motor, and this one was the brake lights. So that's we need 1, 2, 3 distribution hubs at least, and this one I guess was left open for something, but horn, wiper motor, brake lights are going to be distributed separately, unless I want to have you know, these 2 here were were connected, were spliced together internally, so I may not be able to have them separately done, but maybe I could use that one that's unused. So this, and that. Just kind of move that one down. And then this one would be just open so that we could have each distribution be separate, you know, because if you pop a fuse, you want to be able to easily figure out which circuit was the cause instead of having to test each branch for a short to ground, which can be difficult. Looks like we may be keeping the stock fuse box, because even though the rest of these, so this is parking light, reverse light, low beam, high beam, low beam, high beam. You know, we're gonna need all of these fuses. And then, like I said, I could move this one down because these two are tied together. So I'm gonna need 1, 2, 3 inputs, separate inputs into our main fuse box. That means 3 outputs from that distribution block, which is not bad because there's not too many slots on that one side anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, but you know, just kind of going through the wiring diagram, the way it loops around, you know, you kind of have power coming in, and then it goes out, and then it comes back into these and splits off onto the components. You know, so like this, one of these wires, I think, is going to the light switch, and then it comes back in on the gray line to be split. So, interesting, you know, and then maybe this, let's see, green, yeah, this green wire, green up and out, yeah, would also go to the light. So it looks like that's the way that works. All right, yeah, but you'll notice you got to just really think about that concept when you type in fuse block, fuse box on Amazon. You're actually getting distribution boxes and not replacement fuse blocks that are more of like an inline, hey, I've got power coming in on this component from somewhere else. Like I've got power coming in from a switch, and then they fuse it before the component. I guess that's probably how things are different than the design now. Design in cars now is much more distribution based, so it would be, you know, main fuse coming into a block and then splitting off to, you know, power feeds, and then you know, switches or components, and then the you know, so in this case the fuse is like right before the component, which I don't like because you know, there's a lot of wiring that's unfused in that case, you know, it appears. But if we fuse those 3 things, the horn and the brake lights and the other lights, the turn signals, I think, were on there too. So we may even split some of those up maybe into 4, but something about the way that fuse box is designed with a lot of those power feeds tied together, yeah, we may just have to keep the design as close to spec as possible, which is probably a good idea. You know, the best thing that we're doing here is fusing the distribution. So we're adding kind of another fuse box up top that, you know, before we get to that main fuse box, which I think makes sense. Okay, but yeah, when you're looking at fuse boxes on Amazon, really think about if you're looking for like a pass through, wire coming in, fuse, wire going out, as opposed to one big feed coming in and then splitting off into multiple components downstream. Because these older cars, you may just need kind of these inline things, and they have them. I could get one overnight, but just because of the multiple tie-ins to the same fuse on an output, I'm just going to use the same box here because it's very unique to this, and I'd like to just keep it as stock as possible for the for the basic vehicle components. Even the wiper motor, it makes sense just because it's going to be multiple speeds, so it may make sense to like get a new switch if that switch is no good and wire it in as per the original design. Okay, here we go.